While they're setting up, what I would like to say is, when we started, the shade was on the steps, and now it's about 3:30, and the shade is all the way out there. So, hey, we made it to the shady part of the day. Now, that's actually a day like this, you want to be by the water. Congratulations for getting here. We're by the water, and you can enjoy the music and the panels. And I want to thank. Yeah, I want to thank Ken for setting up. I want to thank Marilyn and Nancy and Jeannie for explaining so much. All right, I'm going to put this down, and we can enjoy the music of someone who's played at the Water Festival before. It's always a pleasure to introduce my friend and my neighbor, Steve Suffet.
I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around, they've gone away. Does everyone know what a divide is? That's a place on top of a mountain where if you take a few steps, the water goes one way, and if you take a few steps back, the water goes the other way. There's a divide in upstate New York. You could go on the Tioga River, and the water from the Tioga River in upstate New York runs to the Allegheny, which runs to the Ohio, which runs to the Mississippi, which means a drop of water that falls in the town of Tioga might run down to the Gulf of Mexico. But if it just falls a little bit to the east, it comes right down here on the Hudson. There's a big divide also, a lot of big divides in our life. This song is about them. You could join me on the chorus, you might know it. I've been walking in my sleep, counting troubles instead of counting sheep. Where the years went, I can't say. I just turned around, they've gone away. Jenny, you know the song, don't you? No, you don't? I've been sifting through the layers of dusty books and faded papers. They tell a story I used to know, one that happened so long ago. She's gone away, help me on it. She's gone away. Yesterday, now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Wanna help me try that again? Gone away, she's gone away, and yesterday, now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. I can hear the owl calling softly as the night comes falling with a question, and I replied, she's gone across the borderline. Hopefully there are no ice agents there. She's gone away yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction and cross the great divide. The finest hour I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day, when the darkness just rolls away. Help me now, ready? She's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction and cross the great divide. One more time. She's gone away in yesterday. Now I find myself on the mountainside, where the rivers change direction across the great divide. Does anyone remember who that song is by? If not, I'll tell you. No one, not one person. Kate Wolf, the late Kate Wolf. Died 1986. It's amazing. She was only in her 30s when she passed away. Anyone here from either the borough of Brooklyn or the borough of Queens? Yeah, okay. Well, what should I do first? Should I do the railroad song or the canal song? I'll do the canal song first. Okay. The Gowanus Canal. Everyone knows what the Gowanus Canal is, right?
Right.
Goes a little bit off of Buttermilk Channel down here in Upper New York Bay, and it goes for about 2 miles inland to a place called Butler Street in the neighborhood called Carville Hill. And it's not really a canal because it doesn't connect to waterways. It's just kind of a little tidal estuary, man-made tidal estuary, and really very foul, but it has a history to it. So just because it was only 2 miles long doesn't mean there weren't people who worked it. There were certainly canalmen, there were certainly sailors, mighty sailing men, and they had their own songs. Sort of. I am a mighty sailing man, I come from Brooklyn town, but I never left old Brooklyn to sail this world around. Has a chorus and it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. You want to try that? I am a mighty sailing man, I come from Brooklyn town, but I never left old Brooklyn to sail this world around. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am a casket maker, in Brooklyn I do dwell. I'll keep your bones as cold as stones, or your soul it burns in hell. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am the Brooklyn brewer, I make the beer and ale. I'll get you drunk, you'll get a bunk in the Brooklyn jail. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am the Brooklyn preacher, I'll save you from your fate if you drop your dimes and quarters on my silver plate. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. In the late 19th century, there was a baseball team called the Brooklyn Robins, and they played in a place in Brownsville called East Park. And in the outfield, in the right field of East Park, there was a streetcar line, a trolley car line running through it. And sometimes when a trolley car came through East Park, the baseball players had to get out of the way, so they became known as the Brooklyn Trolley Car Dodgers. True story, unlike the rest of the song. I'm a Brooklyn baseball player, I dodge the trolley cars. By day I hit the baseballs, and by night I hit the bars. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. I am the Brooklyn harlot, I walk the Brooklyn streets, and if you have a silver dollar, then you can have some Brooklyn treats. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. Brooklyn has its share of scoundrels, the list is very long, and at the top you're sure to spot the one who sings this song. And it's down the Gowanus, our good ship sails today, 10,000 feet from Butler Street down to New York Bay. It sounds very boomy, very bassy. Is that how it's supposed to be? It sounds good there, okay. What we now know is mass incarceration is nothing new. It's been used in different times in different places. British Empire. This was really brilliant in some ways. as cotton became more economical after the invention of the cotton gin, there was less demand for wool and for flax. So a lot of people were out of work, particularly in Ireland and in Scotland, parts of England also. Some of them came to the factories, some of them went overseas to the colonies. Some of them got in trouble with the law and turned up involuntarily being transported to places such as Australia, where they were put to work, very often raising sheep. The British Navy still needed wool. It was just cheaper to have it in Australia than to get it from Scotland or from Ireland. So you had the whole system of penal transportation. Not the type of ocean voyage you would like to be on. In 1803 we put out to sea, out from the fair port of Derry, for Australia bound if we all didn't drown, then the marks of our fetters we carried. In rusty iron chains we cried for our wains as children, and our good wives that we left in sorrow. As the mainsails unfurled, the curses we hurled on the English and thoughts of tomorrow. There's a chorus. Here's how it goes. I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. The lyrics to the song were written by a member of Parliament, Bobby Sands. He never took his seat because he died on hunger strike. At the mouth of the foil we bid farewell to the soil, as down below decks we were lying. Our Doggedy screamed, woken out of a dream by a vision of the bold Emmett dying. The sun burnt us cruel as they dished out the gruel. Dan O'Connor came down with the fever. 60 rebels today bound for Botany Bay. How many would reach their receiver? Ready? Here we go. It's oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, wish I was back home in Derry. We cursed them to hell as the bow fought the swell, and our ship danced like a moth in the firelight. White horses rode high and the devil came by, taking souls down to Hades by twilight. 6 weeks out to sea, we were now 43, and we buried our comrades each morning. And in our own slime we were stuck in a time of an endless night without dawning. Nice pleasant voyage, right? I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. If you're not sure what Van Diemen's Land is, some of you might know. Tasmania, yes it is. Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man to live out his whole life in slavery, where the climate is raw and the gun makes the law, and neither wind nor rain care for bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've ended my bond. My comrades' ghosts walk behind me. A rebel I came, and I'll die just the same. On the cold wind of the night you will find me. Last time we're gonna go ready, mate. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, the Diamond is a ship, my lads, but Davis Strait is bound. Excuse me, let me try that again. Little dry peanut in my throat. Ah, the Diamond is a ship, my lads, but Davis Strait it's bound, and the kid is all garnished with the lovely lassies round. Captain Thompson gives the orders to sail the ocean wide, where the sun it never sets me, boys, nor darkness dims the sky. So it's cheer up, my lads, let your hearts never fail, while the bonny ship, the Diamond, goes a-fishing for the whale. Something's wrong with that song, right? Right, you don't go fishing for whales, do you? No, you go hunting, right? Along the quay at Petershead, the lassies stand around, with shawls pulled about them and their salt tears running down. Ah, don't you cry, my bonny lass, though you be left behind. The rose will grow on Greenland's ice before we change our mind. So it's cheer up, my lads, let your hearts never fail, while the bonny ship, the Diamond, goes a-fishing for the whale. Here's a health to the Resolution, likewise the Eliza Swan. Here's to the Battle of Montrose and the Diamond ship we're on. We wear the trousers of the white and jackets of the blue. When we return to Peterhead, we'll have sweethearts anew. And it's cheer up, my lads, let your hearts never fail, while the bonny ship, the Diamond, goes a-fishing for the whale. It'll be bright both day and night when the Greenland boys come home, with a ship that's full of oil and money all our own. We'll make the cradles for to rock and the blankets for to tear, and every lass in Peterhead sing hush-a-bye, my dear. And it's cheer up, my lads, let your hearts never fail, while the bonny ship, the Diamond, goes a-fishing for the whale. One last time. So it's cheer up, my lads, let your hearts never fail, while the bonny ship, the Diamond, goes a-fishing for the whale. I'm not sure if I would. A song I wasn't really planning on doing, but maybe I'll try it. I look out across the East River here, and it reminds me of a few years ago, 5 years ago, I was in Louisville, Kentucky in February in winter when there was ice in the Ohio River. And I looked from Louisville across the frozen, partly frozen water, there was plenty of open channel in the middle of it, to the Ohio on the other side. And I thought for a moment what a fugitive slave, who had probably gone days, maybe weeks, must have felt reaching the banks of the Ohio River and knowing freedom was just on the other side, and the river was as wide as this one, filled with ice and with dangerous currents and with winds, and knowing that the bloodhounds were coming behind. There are some things that are more fun to sing about than to actually experience. If this is the wrong key, I'll start again. It's run, children, run. It's run, children, run. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. When I first heard this song, it was called Run, Nigger, Run. And it's still known as that. It's in the movie 12 Years as a Slave, someone sings a verse of it. I just changed one word, otherwise I left the song exactly as it was. You can help me. Run, children, run. Run, children, run. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. It's run, children, run. Paddle is what patrollers, the slave patrols from the plantation. It's hide by the light of the day. It's hide by the light of the day. Help me, ready? And it's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. And it's run by the dark of the moon. It's run by the dark of the moon. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. The star's gonna show you the way. The star's gonna show you the way. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. It's go where the hounds can't go. It's go where the hounds can't go. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. And wade in the water and low. Wading in the water is so you could get the bloodhounds to lose your scent. They can't follow a person through water. They can pick up the scent on the other bank if you get out too soon, but if you stay in long enough, they can. So help me. It's wade in the water and low. It's wade in the water and low. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. Help me. It's run, children, run. Run, children, run. It's run, children, run when the paddlers come. Run, children, run. Time for one more or what? Well, I did my canal song before. This is, I wrote this one also. This is the train song. I don't know how many people have walked around looking for abandoned railroad tracks. Something I do. We're not called train whip nuts. We're called rail fans. There's a difference. Anyway, the Evergreen Railway, actually the Evergreen branch of the Long Island Railway, is only 2 miles long. It ran for 111 years till it was finally taken out of service in 1984. The western terminus was a place that's still there called Bushwick Terminal. There's no longer a building anymore. It's just some loading platforms over by Morgan Avenue and on the near Messerol Street, I believe. And the other end was outside the Cemetery of the Evergreens in Ridgewood, Queens, where it connected with the Bay Ridge line that still exists. And when the Long Island Railroad took it out of service, they didn't rip up the tracks, they just covered them with asphalt. So there were several places where I like to bring people and show them where the tracks are breaking through the pavement. Anything else? Oh yeah, there still is another line, the Bushwick Railway, that's also 2 miles long, and it still runs. It also runs between Bushwick Depot in Brooklyn, and the other end is at Fresh Pond Yard in Queens, where it's a major railroad yard, several lines. So anyway, this is the story of a train that only ran 2 miles. Oh, it also was an industrial railroad. It served businesses, factories and shops and so on. By the dim and flaring lights of a place called Wyckoff Heights, I was born in 1889. As a boy I heard the sound of the iron drive wheels pound and the whistle on the evergreen line. Here's a chorus. Cooper Junction is a mile straight ahead. Bushwick Depot is a mile just behind. In the early morning sun, on a cemetery run, rolling down the evergreen line. Old Reuben had a train, ran from Georgia to Maine, but Reuben's train ain't the same as mine. The short line in the song is just 2 miles long, rolling down the evergreen line. Help me on this. Cooper Junction is a mile straight ahead. Bushwick Depot is a mile just behind. In the early morning sun, on a cemetery run, rolling down the evergreen line. For all who paid the price, this train hauled blocks of ice and lumber and linen turpentine. It hauled away the trash, the salvage and the ash, were the payload on the evergreen line. Cooper Junction is a mile straight ahead. Bushwick Depot is a mile just behind. In the early morning sun, on a cemetery run, rolling down the evergreen line. Oh, first the Dutchmen came, and they left behind their name. The Germans and Swedes, they came in time. This train was nearly gone when they came here from San Juan, vestige of the evergreen line. Cooper Junction is a mile straight ahead. Bushwick Depot is a mile just behind. In the early morning sun, on a cemetery run, rolling down the evergreen line. I recall that somber morn when I heard that mournful horn blowing through the cemetery pine. And all the people knew from the way the whistle blew, the funeral train was coming down the line. Cooper Junction is a mile straight ahead. Bushwick Depot is a mile just behind. In the early morning sun, on a cemetery run, rolling down the evergreen line. Through the buckling pavement cracks, you still can see the tracks of the train I knew when I was in my prime. And when my time has come, you can bring my body home, rolling down the evergreen line. Last time. Cooper Junction is a mile straight ahead. Bushwick Depot is a mile just behind. In the early morning sun, on a cemetery run, rolling down the evergreen line. Thank you.
Speak Suffet, everybody.
Tell me when it's safe to disconnect.
I like what's your line?
What? Just make it quick. Finest hour I have seen is the one that comes between the edge of night and the break of day, when the darkness just rolls away. Help me now, ready? She's gone away.